Hello guys, so today now we will talk our third lecture in loops in Java. We talked before about the for loop and the while loop. Today we are going to talk about the third type of the loops we are covering in this course, which is the do-while loop. For quick remembering what we talked about in a for and while loop, we said that our straightforward and easier way to use for loop if we don't know in advance how many iterations are going to be I'm sorry, so if we know in advance how many iterations, so it's preferred and easier to go with for loop. If we don't know in advance how many iterations, and we will depend on a user to enter a specific character in order to terminate the loop, it's preferred and easier to go with while loop. It's easier, regarding to its structure and definition. But to remind you again, guys, it doesn't mean that we can't use either of them instead of each other. We can do that, but this is the easier and straightforward method. The third type, which is a do while, is the same like while loop, but in case of do while, we state a do, then the parentheses, here's the loop body and statement, and here's the while loop, the while, sorry, and here's the loop condition that should be checked in order to terminate the loop. And note that we check the condition after executing the first iteration. So body will be executed at least one for sure at do while. And condition will be checked after the first execution or the first iteration. So in do while we are guaranteed that we have at least one iteration. And be aware that in its syntax we have a semicolon here by the end of this loop iteration. Okay, so the main difference between do while and while, it's only one clear difference. But in do while case, we will iterate at least once, then we checked. Okay, so to be clear, if we have this is the same, exactly the same, integer I equal 10, here integer I equal 10. Here I do just print out the value of I. Here using while, I just print out the value of I. The condition is I less than 10, which is not correct. In both cases, the condition is false. But here, this one will be executed at least one, which is output 10 because value of I is 10. Then after that, this condition will be checked. Is I less than 10? No, I is exactly equal 10. So loop will be terminated after executing this first one. But here, this condition will be checked at the beginning. So I equal 10. Is I here equal 10? No. So this one will not execute anything. So no output I will have here. This is the main difference between the while loop and the do while loop. In order to focus on that, we would like to just use that just to show you the output in Eclipse here. So integer I equal 10. So here we'll do a system dot out dot print I here while I less than 10, and don't forget to put a semicolon here. So in this case, I is equal 10. If I execute that and run that, I will enter the loop anyway, print the value of I, which is 10, then this condition will be checked, which is turned to be false, so I will not go back to the loop. So if I enter that, it will output only 10. If I said while I less than 10, and I have this one here, like system.output here, the value of I, then to be sure where am I, at while loop. So do you expect this one will be executed at least once? I think no. So if we executed this one, I have the output of I, and this one will not execute it. So to be sure here, at do while. Run again. You see I'm at do while. Okay. In order this one to be executed, I may add here equal. So now this condition will check to be true. So if I run, I have, oh, so we forget there's something else. But this one, I'm at do while. This is executed only once at the beginning here. Then I'm at while loop, but I'm inside infinite loop because I will remain forever inside here. So this one we forget to take care of. So what's going to happen here? What's happened here again? This condition is satisfied, and I'm remaining inside this one forever because what, guys? Because I is less than one and will remain this one. To remind you, I should do something like I equal I plus 1 in order to terminate the loop. So if I run that here, I am at do while and have 10, and I am at while loop and I have 10 only once because I is incremented to be 11. When I speak to be 11, this loop will be terminated. So this is the main difference between while and do while and how do while is working. So next topic of this lecture was a nested loop, and by nested loop I mean loop inside loop. And here I have two different loops. This one is called the outer loop, and it iterates 5 times because it starts at 0 and less than 5. And I do have an inner loop. This is the inside loop, and this one will iterate 15 times. And why 15 times? This one initially iterate 3 times, but it will iterate 3 times 5 times, because for every single iteration of this one, for example, for iteration at when I equals 0, this one will execute and finish, which is iterated 3 times. And then I will change it to 1, and this again iterate 3 times. So this one will iterate 3 times, 5 times. So it will iterate 15 times. So let's see that here and talk a little bit about that by example. So I will remove all of that here. I prefer to remove and redo in order to do everything together. So for I equal 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, and have a block here, system dot out dot println I. So I here should iterate 5 times. So if I run that, I should have value of I equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This statement is executed 5 times because I have 5 iterations here. This is going to be changed a little bit if I have another loop here inside, and I said for j equals 0, j less than 2, j plus plus. And I have here this block here. So, and don't forget to declare j. Fine. So now, if we have another loop here, how many iterations this one will be executed? Take a look. This is the outer loop, and this is the inner loop. This block, which inside this parentheses, all will iterate 5 times. And this block inside these parentheses will iterate 2 times, at 0 and at 1. But it will iterate 2 times, 5 times. So totally this one will execute it 10 times, 2 multiplied by 5. Let's trace it one by one. I here will have a value of 0. And j will change to 0 and 1. Okay? So After it proceeding to 2, this 4 will be terminated and will go back to this 4. Value of I should increase it to 1, and this one will execute to 0 and 1. So start and terminate. And this is going to be happen as long as this 4 is available. In order to be sure about that, I will say, for example, outer loop variable, which is I plus inner, I will do here like /n in order to have another line, inner loop variable plus g. So I will have the value of I and the value of g. If I run that here, so outer loop value is 0, inner loop value is 0, outer loop value still 0, inner loop became 1. So inner loop finished. So we go back to outer loop and the 0 become 1 and the inner loop 0. It's remain 1, inner loop 1. So this inner loop finished. We go back to outer loop, it become 2, and this one is still 0 and 1. 2 is fixed. Then outer loop will be 3. 3 0 3 1 4 0 4 1. Okay. That's why if I take a look at this example here, this example just repeat fixed a and start to output the variable or the character from a up to z here. Then this one is changed to b. So we have two different loops. So we don't care either the nested loop is for or while. The outer loop here, sorry about that. The outer loop, let's go from the beginning because, yeah, the outer loop here work at the first character here or the left character here, while letter 1 less than z. Letter 1 starting at a, and letter 2 starting at a at the inner loop here, working as a second character. Letter 2 less than while it's less than 0, and just print it out. So we have a loop inside loop. So this one is a, this one is a, okay, and as long as it's less than z, I will iterate. So this one is a, it will remain a until this next inside loop start and finished. This inner loop start at a and finish at z. So it will start to write a b c d until reaching z. When it reaches z, this one will be terminated. And for sure I'm incrementing here. And I go out here. This letter 1 is incremented. So it was a, now it's b. So I'm starting from b. And this one will start again from a up to z. And if you take a look, this one is redo to a for each iteration. Why? In order, for example, I'm starting at a, so I would like start at a and increment here. So I switch to b. I would like, if I start at b, I would like to start from a again. So I reinitialize this one here inside the loop to be a. This is very important. Take care of that. This one. Okay. That's for the nested loop. The third topic for this lecture was the using of continue and break. This is extremely, really important topic. So we have two key words. One is called continue and the other called break. What's the difference between continue and break? Continue if found inside a loop. Excuse me. That means you have to skip the current iteration, but you are not out of your loop. You're still inside the loop. Just skip this current iteration. So if I have a loop like this, starting from 0 up to 5, value of I start from 0 and proceed up to reaching 4. If I just print it out, as usual, it starts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I just added this one here, if I equal to continue, so I'm saying as when I equal to continue mean skip whatever came after continue and restart the loop from, not restarting from the 0, but continue the loop. Continue. If I'm at 2, I will add 3. So 0 is okay, 1 is okay, 2 here is missed because when I equal 2, it will continue and not executing the output of 2, and then proceeding with 3 and 4. This is continue. I'm not getting out the loop, I'm not terminating the loop, just simply skip your current iteration. This is totally the opposite of break statement. So break statement, once found inside the loop and executed, it will terminate the loop. So this is again from 0 up to 4. If I said when I equal to break, so I will output 0 and 1 only, because when I reach 2 I will break the loop, not continuing the loop, and just get whatever down the loop. Okay, so let's try that again. Here, let's try this in Eclipse here. So okay, so you have here this one. I'm okay. I will tell you here if I equal to continue. Okay, so this continue, to remind you again, guys, if I have an if statement, a for loop, a while loop, anything with a block that should have parentheses here, if I'm not including a parenthesis, that means it will be executed for the next single statement. So here I'm saying that if I equal to, I will continue. So if you remember that the outer loop when equal to here, it has 0, and 2, it has 1. That's mean here I will not have this block. If I run that again, I will have outer loop 0 and inner loop 0 and 1, outer loop 1, inner loop 0 and 1, and then up to 3. So 2 is missed because I said to, if you have 2, just continue. If I replace this with break, that means I should, at this one, this is the end of my loop. What is the end of what? The end of what? The end of the loop that break found in, which means this one will be ended here at this point, and I will go back to the beginning. So if I run that, I would have the same, exactly the same like continue in this case, because this break will end this loop only and will go up to the outer loop starting from 3 again. So why it's for example continue, it's a very important question. I will give you a hint and you continue try to understand. Why continue do the same job like break here? Because here the value of I equal to will remain valid for the whole iterations of this loop, because I here will equal to when j equals 0, I will still equal to when j equal 1. So in order to be sure about that, just replace this one with j. What's going to happen here? If you replace this one with j, and to be sure, just make this 1 because j will not reach 2 here. So j equal 1. When j equals 0, let's run and explain here. So an outer loop here, 0, 0, 1, 1. When its outer loop equal 1 equal 2, so 0, 0, sorry. So again, when j equal 1, I will have to continue. So when outer loop equals 0, I'm go inside the inner loop. When j equals 0, okay, I will print out 0 and 0. And when this one is switched to 1, the j equal 1, I will continue. So this one will not be executed at any level when j equal 1. So and when it go out back again outer loop to be 2, it will execute it with 0 only. Whenever j equal 1, it will continue. If this one is break, what's going to happen here? When j equal 1, it will break this loop, and we will have here the same, exactly the same output. This will be maybe confusing it. You need to trace that, and you have to do it, please, yourself. Try to trace that. But in order to be clear and not confusing you, I will start to do it in a single loop. System.out.println. This is the value for example of I. So if I run that here, 0 up to 4. If I just simply put if I equal to continue. So if we run that, 0, 1, 2 is skipped, and then start from 3 and 4. And here, if we replace it with break, I will 0 and 1 and will not continue. Okay, so continue and break, continue and break. If you remember, if I just made some Control Z to have the previous one, here, for example, if I use continue, if I'm working on this one, the variable, if I have nested loop, if I working the condition or add the inner one, so continue will skip only when j equal 1. If I replace that with break, it doesn't make any difference here. It will make a difference if I increase this one to 3. What's going to happen here? So if I run that, it will skip only at 1. Just run and take a look here. So outer loop is 0, inner loop is 0. Outer loop is 0, inner loop is 2. Is 2, yeah. Where's 1? There's no 1 because I skip it, but I will continue to 2, and it will have 2 appeared here. Take a look here. If we replace that with break here, what's going to happen here? This one will not appear at value of 2 because at value of 1 I will get out of the loop. So at value of 0 it will 0, and so j is 0. If j is switched to 1, it will break the loop and go to the outer loop, so outer loop has become 1. Okay, so you have to play a little more with what is inner loop and outer loop and the break and continue. So now I finished if the second scenario of the number of iteration is unknown in advance from the beginning, we say that we should go with while loop. But what if I would prefer to go with for loop? What does this mean if I said for just a semicolon here? This is mean infinite loop, and I have to do it myself inside here to get me out from the loop. If I getting an input from the user, I have to make an if statement. If this input is equal, for example, q, then I break. So I did that myself. So this would be exactly the same like do while. This one will be executed once, and if this one is satisfied after you input, I will break. So this is similar to do while. If I just start to put this instruction not equal q here, this is drive me to the while loop, similar to while loop. That's why I said if I'm using the for loop in order to make the same function, straight function like do while or while, I have to do some modification myself. And to just be sure what this means, excuse me. So I will say here for semicolon and semicolon. What does that mean, guys, again? That means this is an infinite loop. So system.out.print hello, and hello will be printed forever. Hello will be printed forever, forever, forever. Hello, hello, hello. I have to stop it myself. This is called infinite loop. And I can use one of them. For example, I can say y I less than 9. I is equal 10 is initialized somewhere here. I less than 10, this one if run will output nothing because this condition will not be satisfied because I is not equal less than 9. So for with a semicolon like this, you have to do something here to get you out of the loop using break statement. This is the same exactly. On the other hand, if I said while true is not correct. True should be like what? True, like this. Yeah. So while true, this means this is forever will be satisfied because it will be true forever. So it's hello, 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 and you have to do something here inside to get it, to get it, get a break from here. So yes, you can make this one do the same function like this one, but you have to do some modification. My advice for now, you have to play a little bit more with break, especially with nested loops, and just try to modify some conditions, modify some variable assignment in order to see the effect for that. Thank you guys, and I hope that you can be understanding for now. Thank you and bye bye.